Good morning and welcome back to another Talking Technical. Always nice speaking to you. And yes, we have some nice requests of you. And of course, somebody asked about Impala Platinum, but unfortunately, we covered that in the candle of the day. And I think it will just be unfair to our subscribers to come and put Impala on, and we just infoed them on Impala. So let's have a look at Royal Bafokeng Platinum, because that was another request from Johnny. And Johnny, if you look at the momentum here, clearly to the downside. Can you believe it that all these platinum counters has been hammered? So from February, from 171 Rand and 10 cents, can you believe that this counter can go all the way down to 125 almost in one go? But I must be honest with you. I think that there is a little bit of an opportunity in platinum shares because they have been hammered. But there's the trend line. The trend line tells you one thing. It tells you that the momentum is still clearly to the downside. And there's your 50-day moving average. That is also telling you that the trend is clearly to the downside and that medium-term investors will be a little bit nervous to invest in the stock. But for traders, we always know that we've got many a trader that's always watching the show for maybe a little hint, and there's your hint. I just want to put that line in. Can you see the upper shadow of that candle? That sits at 130 Rand and 18 cents. So that will be my first sign of strength to show us that the candle wants to give us a better candle, and that will be above 130.18. Above 130.80, we will see the first sign of strength. But where's your stop loss if you buy? Your stop loss will be 122 Rand 51. But boy, oh boy, do we have targets. The first one will be this resistance line, 135.03. Then we've got the 50-day moving average, 138.10. And if it really starts to get going, it will be 143 and 10 cents. So I like Royal Bafokeng Platinum, Impala Platinum, and also Anglo Platinum has been hammered to pieces. Let's have a look at Montauk. Somebody asked about Montauk Renewables, and if I look at this chart, it tells you one simple story, that the share is under pressure. Look at it. It tried to put in a beautiful relief bounce. It came back, and then now it's starting to lose momentum again, and we're below that 50-day moving average. So I hope that the first sign of strength will be if we can regain strength and change this 50-day moving average into a support, and that will be above 130.34. Always keep in mind, the 50-day moving average gives you a wonderful view of what the medium-term investors are thinking. For me, this is the clue. There's a little line here, the lower shadow of that candle there, of that dragonfly, and that low is sitting at 125, sorry, 125 on the dot, yes, on the dot, 125. If that turns into a resistance, we can say that the 50-day moving average wants to remain a resistance. We will see a lower high coming into place, and where can the share go to? It can maybe go down to 122.14, 118.80, and even as low as 114 Rand 79. So I'm not that keen on Montauk at the moment. I will say, let's see if this low can hold. That's the big thing. If this low, the low gives and that turns into a resistance, that will tell me that the momentum to the downside is still clearly in place and that we can actually see even lower levels. Let's have a look at MTN. MTN, one of the stars of the market. Now, I'm watching the share for quite a while because look at this rally. I mean, this rally is from 109 Rand 47 in one go almost to 145 Rand. That's a Lampel formation. And I'm always about Lampel formations. I'm always nervous about them because they usually tell me that the share is just too optimistic, or investors are too optimistic, and it can maybe give us a little bit of a breather. Now, we're seeing this breather coming in. And what we see here is that the share is starting to lose a little bit momentum. And where was the golden key? The golden key was this little Arami right at the top. That told me that investors were nervous. And there you see the proper teardrop candle. And that usually signals a downtrend, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And the momentum is now to the downside. So I will say that the momentum to the upside, and I know many of you will love MTN, the momentum to the upside will only start to continue if it goes above 137.90. Unfortunately, if it goes below, let's show you. That's the low of this candle. That's holding the key for us here. There you are. If it is below 134.07, we can unfortunately see another leg down. And I personally think that the share is heading to this area. And I'm just going to use a broad line here. Why do I do that? Just look at the amount of trades that arise around this level. It traded for quite a while around this level. And what do we see? We can easily see the share come back to around 127, 128. And then maybe from there, it can maybe give us a little bit of a bounce again to the top. But I think at the moment, the share is just a little bit overcooked. And I'm a little bit nervous. Let's have a look at Sappi. Now, this is one of the counters that's also been hammered to pieces. Let's just get it for you. And you will see that immediately, if I put that share on, you will see, wow, 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 it's been hammered to pieces. And there you are. Look at that. Trend is still clearly to the downside. I mean, but look at this. All the way down, and now it's starting to turn around. So I think there's maybe a little bit of opportunity here in Sappi. Let's just draw in that line. The last 2 days was quite strong moves to the upside. I just want to get that. There you are. While the share is above 38.79, the momentum is to the top for me. So I think if you want to buy as close as possible to 38.92. Where's that level? Sorry, let's give you the exact level. 38.80. Buy as close as you can get to 38.80. Use a stop loss of 37.49, and hopefully the share can go. Let's give you the levels: 40 rand 18 cents, 41.24, and I think this 50-day moving average is maybe the short-term target if the share starts to bounce, and that will be 42 rand and 64 cents. Let's have a look at Tesla. Tesla is one of those companies. I mean, nothing can put this company down. I mean, it is just a company that's in complete control of the market. But I was nervous, and I did mention it before on a show. Look at this lamp pole formation. It's turning around. Look at that bearish engulfing candle. Tells you, oh boy, we need to take some profit. And we are busy searching for this little gap. There's the gap. I just want to put it in there. There's the one, the resistance line. Let's get that. And there's the support. And I think we first need to go and close this gap. And this gap is closing at 235.23. Below 235.23, we can maybe go even lower because there is also a tiny little gap. But I believe if we can close this gap, we can maybe see a bit of a, almost you say, a consolidation, and then a little bit of a relief bounce to the top. But always the case, if a share's got this one beautiful rally right to the top, always be nervous. It usually comes back and it gives you a little bit of a pullback. So never chase a share when it's in a lamp pole formation situation. You can just burn your fingers. Let us look at Nvidia. Also one of those giants of the market. I mean, this is one of the leaders in the artificial industry. They say in artificial intelligence is the new thing of the world. For me, I'm seeing this massive gap. Look at that. And remember, Tesla and Nvidia was one of these two shares that actually helped the Nasdaq a lot. Let's just put that in perspective for you. There's the massive gap. Now, I will not buy Nvidia. I will wait for this to close this gap. Look what it happened. It rallied way above the 50-day moving average. Now it's coming back, and this gap is sitting between $366.35 and it will close at $318.28. So for me, I will wait for this gap to close before I look at Nvidia. It doesn't matter what the AI, the robots are telling me that the share is going to the moon. I will just wait patiently for the share to pull back, and then we will look at. But what we do know is that the trend to the upside is well in place. So let's first see if this gap closes, but it's a long way from there. It's now around $400. So there's quite a little bit of work before we will look at Nvidia. Thank you for watching the show. Let's chat again and visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com for more info, and we will chat again.